Hello everyone, welcome to the official Cybersecurity Club channel. I'm going to be posting a lot of the labs we're going to be doing in the club on this channel so you guys could go back, go over it, and try them yourselves. And I emphasize all of you guys to watch the videos that I will be posting on here and try them for yourselves. And this is stuff you could definitely add on to your resume. So we're going to be starting off with the Snort. I showed the Snort configuration the other day. Many of you guys may not have it installed and wanted a video to try to go back to and attempt it yourself. I went over SIEM the week prior. I showed you guys how to set up a SIEM on your network. I'll be making a separate video for that just because that was already done in the past and Snort was done recently, so I'll be going over Snort first and then we'll go to SIEM next. Um, and as I said in the lab sessions, Snort is a really powerful intrusion detection and prevention system. Whether you're just a beginner or like a cybersecurity professional, understanding Snort is essential for like any network defense. So I'm basically gonna break down kind of how Snort is and how it works before we dive into exactly, um, you know, get to the hands-on stuff. As I said before, it's widely used to monitor network traffic, detect malicious activity, block threats in real time. It was actually originally developed by SourceFire. It was later acquired by Cisco. Um, so yes, I talked about how it works in our labs, in our meeting session that we had, but there's really four main stages of how Snort operates. I'll have it popped up on the screen so you guys can see. So number one is packet capture. Snort listens to all the network traffic using a network interface um, on promiscuous mode. The second is pre-processing. The traffic is normalized and filtered to remove unnecessary noise. Number four would be detection engine. Basically, this is packets are like compared against like predefined snort rules to detect potential threats, like how I showed you guys in the meeting, how we were adding rules, taking off rules. We'll dive more into that later in the video. And then number four would be the output modules. So if a match is found, Snort generates like an alert and or log for like event for review. And this is when like a lot of cybersecurity professionals review these logs to see, kind of where it came from if it needs to be blocked, right? And yeah, so when it comes to the different modes, when we are running, there's kind of three major modes that I was not able to go over all of them in a meeting. I was able to go over some of them, but there's three main ones, which is sniffer mode, packet logger mode, and intrusion detection or prevention mode. So these three are like the primary modes. Throughout the semester, maybe I will go over more of them. Um, you know, but this is a kind of the core of Snort. So yeah, so we'll dive into the process of how to install Snort. So number one, as I said, you need to get the ISO file for Ubuntu because Snort we're going to be operating on Ubuntu. You just go ubuntu.com/download. You're gonna get redirected to this. Um, Download the LTS version. This is a more supported version. Once you have this, as I showed you guys, get Oracle, get the Oracle VirtualBox Manager. It's pretty easy to install. If you guys have it, I have showed you guys in the past, but just type in Oracle VirtualBox, go to downloads here, and it's gonna kind of take you through the download process. If you're on Mac or whatever, it's kind of gonna guide you through that process and how to install it. Um, and yeah, so you download the ISO file on here. Once you have that, of course, you go to your VM, you press new. It's gonna bring you here. You're gonna put your, Ubuntu. You're gonna put the ISO here. Install Ubuntu here. Just a quick disclaimer: the Ubuntu process, when it's downloading, does take a while. Many people run into issues. If anybody run into any issues, just contact me, and or if you just leave a comment down in this video, I'll try to help you guys with it because I know Ubuntu causes a lot of issues for many people. So just let me know, and I'll try my best to help you with that. So yeah, so once you have Ubuntu installed, we're also another thing I mentioned, we're gonna also need Kali as well because we're gonna be, pen testing the network to see if we're getting telemetry. So we're gonna need Kali Linux as well. I'm not gonna kind of go over the whole process of getting these two ISO files installed in a VirtualBox. There's many videos on that you could find, but get the ISO file for Kali, put it on your same process. So we're gonna need both Kali and Ubuntu to start this demo. Yeah, so once you guys have both downloaded, you'll be directed. Let's start off with Ubuntu. You'll be directed to this screen right here. Here we go. So, you know, the steps of starting, the first thing you want to do as soon as you get Snort up and running is we'll go over these descriptions in a second. We're gonna go over to new command terminal. We're gonna do sudo apt update, uh, and then sudo apt install snort. That's why. So this is gonna be pretty much update your system to make sure you have the necessary stuff to download Snort, because sometimes Snort when you do download a fresh ISO, many of the things are not updated. So update that, and once you update it, you'll be able to download Snort. This is the command for that. And then after you do install it, because I already have it installed, it's not gonna it's gonna run it. You can see it's a lot of it's just updated, making sure I have everything. It's reading the packet list, done, done, done. Store is already at the newest version because I already updated it in the past, and everything is updated within Snort. The next step you want to do is you want to just verify the installation. So you would go to snort/v, and it's going to verify that Snort is installed, just to make sure everything is fine with that. So now, when it comes to configuring Snort, I showed you guys in during the meeting. The command for that is sudo nano dc snort snort.conf. Run that. So this is gonna be the open configuration file. So this using the text editor nano to edit it. So this is how this file controls how Snort operates, and including which rules to use and how alerts are handled on here. So we're gonna scroll down here. So as I mentioned in class, so anything that has a hashtag within this file is not being included within the rules. So the ones that do not have the hashtag are included in the rules. The ones that do have the hashtag are not. And as I mentioned before, let's say you want to create your own rules and you want to turn off some of these rules, you would go to each one and modify it depending on that, right? So once again, it's gonna be different with each one. Just be sure when you are modifying them, just put the hashtag in the front, so just not to include them. So for example, we put a hashtag here, put a hashtag here, or put a hashtag here. We'll pretty much do it to every single one if you want to add your rules, or if let's say you want to include a rule, I would go back here, I would get rid of the hashtag, and then it would include the rule. Just because I'm gonna be doing a quick demo here, I'm not gonna do all of them because there's a good amount, and I'll dive into it more when we get there. Rules which are made by the community, there's registered rules, and there's subscription rules which are paid for, and or you could build your own rules. And most professionals, when they're on their network, they want to build their own rules, um, because you get more like of a definite, output of what you're trying to really do. So many people, they build their own rules in Snort, and that's kind of what we're gonna go for here. Kind of show you guys the basic of it at least. Um, we'll go over some like types of rules like alert rules, there's block rules, there's drop rules, there's login rules, there's pass rules. So each of these rules will do different things. And there's also like rule options as well, where we're gonna be able to display a message, have like a flow state, have like a content or pattern. We'll have like different stuff within those rules as well. um yes, this is how we're going to be adding the rules on or including or taking off the rules within this. So, that was the command for that. We're gonna X out of this. We're gonna go into here, open up a new one. Another, if you guys want to see the different commands within Snort, because you're gonna see me using different letters. So the command for that is man snort. You're gonna see on here is a bunch of different letters on here. It's pretty much gonna show you guys what they mean. So when you see me typing out a certain letter, you don't know what exactly I'm referring it to. Just you always check back to man, it'll tell you what it's doing. Like for example, dash I is the interface, sniff package on the interface. Dash I is printing out the receiving interface name in alerts. So these all these letters do different things. Just to have that on a side note. So once you guys have that, we're gonna go open up a new window. So the first thing you want to do is type in if config. So this is gonna tell you your IP address and your interface card. That's gonna be the most important thing because your interface card is gonna be different depending on your network, and your IP address, of course, is gonna be different as well. One thing I want to mention because many people when they download a fresh ISO, this IP may be set to the VM NAT setting. You have to put it to a bridge. So I'm gonna show you how to do that real quick, just in case you guys have that problem. So we're gonna go to settings here. Once we're in settings, we're going to go to network, and you want to make sure it's attached to bridged adapter. If it's on NAT, it's going to give you a default IP address, and we're not trying to do it on this, so just put a bridged adapter and your actual IP address is going to pop up. So just change it to this and you'll be good to go, just in case you guys do run into that, because some people did mention to me in the past on past demos that you know their IP address wasn't popping up here. So just a side note on that. So take note, of course, of this, and take note of this as well. So yeah, so when you also another thing I want to mention. So when you're installing when you install Snort, it's gonna give you a default IP address. I'll pop it up on the screen here. You could see that it tells you to kind of like input a IP address. So we're gonna keep this as default as HomeNet. So wherever you go, it's gonna kind of cycle to that. So you'll see when I'm configuring it, depending on the IP that you are configuring it on, it's gonna automatically switch to it. You could set the IP address to. You could easily put your IP address in here. There's not an issue, especially if you're doing it at your home. You could put that there. But let's say you're moving around, going to different places. It's not, if you're testing it like that, it's not really a big issue here. So, but of course, if you're setting it up on a certain network, you could definitely, put the IP address in here. So yeah, so that's with that. So now we're gonna, kind of move on here. We're gonna open up a new window. So I have some notes right here we're gonna be going over. So the first thing you want to do is run this command. As I said before, if you do not know what some of these letters mean, you could go onto the man snort and it'll tell you what everything is. So in this case, I'll quickly run through it. Um, so dash T, so sudo snort is calling it right here. So snort will start up. This is basically like starting it up in like self-test mode. And then from there, we're gonna do dash C. Dash C is the configuration file that we're gonna be calling to. We're re-entering this configuration file. Dash I is gonna be the interface that we're gonna be that I was showing you before. It's want to give you guys the visual. You have the interface to sniff the packets on. And this right here is your network interface card. As I said again, this is going to be different. Make sure you run the if config command and see which your interface card is. This is the one that I'm on currently. This is it right here. So we're going to click enter on this. Put in your password. It's going to configure it. So once it's configured, it's going to say Snort successfully validated the configuration. This is what you want. So we know that it's configured it on my IP address on my network interface card, and this is my first time running it on this machine. So I can show you guys the demo, so we know that it's successfully validated from scratch. So if this doesn't happen, something went wrong with your configuration throughout the way. You either put in the wrong maybe you put in the wrong IP address when you were doing that, or you did not leave it as default, or you put in the wrong network interface card. Or there's something wrong with your configuration files. There's many things that could go wrong here, but if you follow the steps that I showed you, you should be able to successfully validate Snort configuration. So that's how you configure Snort. So once you're done configuring Snort, once it's on the thing, so we're gonna run this here. This is the next command you're gonna run right here. So this is how we're gonna basically start the process of it detecting on a network. So this is like the main command. So if you see me run here, you're not gonna see nothing happen. So now it's basically telling it, if I go through all the layers, it's putting it in alert mode. So, this pretty much is gonna start picking up on all alerts that are coming through, posting to the console, and basically and asking through accessing it through the configuration file and onto here. So you can see we are having some detection going on currently, on the network. I don't know what this could be coming from. It could be from various different things, but you're gonna start getting some telemetry. It could be, if it's your home network, people are on it, people are maybe doing some stuff on it. So we'll see what's going on here. So what we're gonna go now, we're gonna go to our Kali. Let's go on to our Kali. So we're gonna do an nmap. We're gonna do an nmap. We're gonna do an nmap. Let's just check our this IP for a demo, and keep in mind, this is not my home IP address. I'll not be dumb enough to show that. So this is the one I set up right here. So we're gonna be entering this IP address onto here. We're gonna be nmapping this just to make sure everything is in operation. So we do 1.18. We're gonna nmap that, starting nmap. So let's see. So right here, I started the nmap, and you could see alerts started flooding in. So we know that it's connected. We know it's operating. So you can see you're gonna get a bunch of different attack modes coming in through that map. You can see bad traffic, bad traffic. You can see UDP, misc attacks. So you can see things are going on. When I nmapped it, and it's coming from this right here. So this kind of gives you an idea of kind of like a network scan, because of course it's being nmapped currently. So that's how you set it up there. So another thing I wanted, if you guys also want to pen test this further, if you're on Kali, Kali has a lot of powerful information gathering tools. A popular one is called Legion. Legion, this is a penetration testing tool. Be a good way to kind of like pen test your network, just to see if everything is kind of working on Snort. So Legion's gonna open up. You're gonna click this box right here. You're gonna enter the IP address uh on here, which was 192.168.118. This is it right here. So we're gonna run it on aggressive. You could you could probably kind of configure what you have it, but for just testing purposes, we're gonna do aggressive. We're gonna submit this. So it's gonna start running it. It's basically gonna start penetration testing the network right now. So on here, look, you're gonna see a lot of telemetry start flowing in here. You can see it right here. This is the nmap that I did it on here. You can see it popped up earlier. So you're gonna see a lot of stuff is gonna start popping through here. As this is running, you're gonna see a lot of telemetry being set onto this back on these alerts right here. So you can see SNP trap, you scan UNP devices. A lot of things are getting pushed here and onto here. So of course, as the whole process is going, Legion runs through each stage. So you could see, you guys could just mess around with it when you guys are home. You guys could just make sure that you know telemetry is being sent to your Ubuntu stuff. So you can see right here, template administrator privilege gain, another SNP request. The scan, bunch of scans going on the network itself. So that's pretty much how you kind of configure it and test that your snort is configured on your network. So that's how you do that. So now let's dive into how alerts work and how you can really set up their alerts. So the first thing is this. I'm gonna kind of dive into what this really is. So of course these alerts are gonna. This is how you kind of set up an alert. So you're gonna have an action. Alert is like this is gonna be the action you're gonna be doing. This is gonna be your protocol. We're gonna be on ICMP. Any is gonna be the source address and the source port. So we want any source address on any port on our destination, which is gonna be our home on our home net, right? And it's gonna be any, and our destination port is gonna be any. And then this right here is the rule option. So this is how you're gonna label it, message, ping detected, and you're gonna have your revolutions right here. So this is kind of like the basic kind of process of a basic setup of alert rule. I'll put up a diagram on the screen so you guys can get a better visual of it. Um, yeah, that's that. So that's kind of how you're gonna add this alert onto here. Let's open up a new console. Let's see if this is going to run now. So on here, we're just gonna do edit anyway. So once you do edit anyway, you're gonna be back onto the rules. So this is where we're gonna be pasting our rules. So we're gonna go down here. I went over how this alert works. We're gonna take this alert. I'm gonna copy the alert. We're gonna drop the alert here. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna get rid of the hashtag. Here we go. So now this alert is on the local rule, right? So any on the local rules, any alerts you're gonna be put on here are gonna be considered. So now that we have this alert set up, um, it's on the local rule now. So we would go on to the Cali. So if we ping this IP, if we ping this IP address here, we should get telemetry back onto our snort detection we had set up. So you'll see a ping detected. It'll give you out this message, and it would work. Um, if you guys want more, if you guys want more details on different alerts that we can set up, because there's so many different alerts you can set up, it gets really in depth. I can make a separate video on all the different alerts, and we could go over that separately. I just want to make a quick demo so you guys can try to just get your, feet wet, kind of, and kind of just, mess around with Snort, because as I said prior, if you know how to set up Snort, if you know how to configure Snort on your network, this is a valuable tool that a lot of cybersecurity professionals should know. And this is something you could throw onto your, even on your resume. And if you're able to do this, like successfully, this is something you even talk about when you're in interviews. It's a really valuable, really powerful source tool that many professionals use and set up. Of course, there's many subscriptions that are set up where I may not be using Snort directly, but of course it's in the back end. So yeah, that's how you set up Snort. That's how you configure Snort. That's how you add rules on Snort. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and you'll uploaded maybe by next week or so. And that's it. So you guys have a good one.